Hello and welcome to Spirited Investigations. This is Caught My Eye, with several stories from the past week or so that have caught our eye. This week is mainly on Julie.
Yes, and one of the things I found this week was that Beardo Gets Scared announced that Ryan Buell is trying to get back in the paranormal again. You remember who Ryan Buell is?
From Paranormal State?
Yes, he was a lead investigator in the show Paranormal State, and that started back in 2007. Now, he started having troubles when he started canceling dates for his conversations with the Dead tour around 2014, and he finally got arrested in 2016, put in jail for felony theft and stolen property and misdemeanor charge for theft of services. He also was claiming that he had pancreatic cancer when he was ditching these events. So people found out he was lying about that. There was at first, even I fell into, Ryan Buell's got pancreatic cancer.
Yes, what a shame kind of thing, yes.
After he served his time, he got his degree at the University of South Carolina for counseling. He says he wants to help people who have had a bad haunting and who are trying to get over addiction. Ryan's been doing TikToks announcing a tour with the Annabelle doll, and he's trying to sell tickets to this tour so people can see the Annabelle doll, and he claims it's haunted, but it's not even the real Annabelle doll. It's not the ugly one from the Conjuring house. It's what I've heard, it could be either the one from the Conjuring house or the Raggedy Ann one, but it's not.
But it's not. So it's not the one that the Warrens had. No, it's not the famous kind of, the one.
They tried. Satori and the owner of the Conjuring house tried to do a trick with, they had an Annabelle doll, a big Raggedy Ann, in a case like the one at the Warrens, sitting behind them, and they're just talking along, da-da-da-da-da, and all of a sudden the door opens and the Annabelle doll slips.
All right.
But of course, it's been discussed that it was just a joke, and everybody saw the rope that was hanging on the leg.
So they got caught, as it were.
They admitted they were doing it as a joke, because after it fell out of there, you see this guy coming onto the screen with the Annabelle doll going,
"Oh no!"
like it's joking him.
Oh my!
Now I'd like to give Ryan the benefit of the doubt. He went to college. He got his degree. He says he wants to help people. But when all this scandal was going on with him missing the dates for these tours or for the conversations with the dead, his mother was posting this on his Facebook page and on Paranormal State's page. Okay. Please stop enabling his situation by sending money, buying tickets to the events that may never occur, buying merchandise / phone calls you may never get, paying money to watch him on Twitch, and giving him offers of shelter. I'm pleading with you out of love for my son, and I'm frightened by what his situation has become. And later on, she says, he's ill, but not from cancer. His family knows what the real problem is. You all need to stop believing his lies and stop enabling him.
Oh, please. Your own mother, imagine that.
Yes. And on a personal note, I know family, the father was a psychologist, and he essayed his daughter, and the mother divorced, got custody of the children, yet because he had buddies, he was able to keep his license.
Oh wow.
So that's what frightens me about this.
Yeah.
Is it a mental problem that he has? Maybe he is what do they call those pathological liar.
Okay. Maybe he doesn't realize his own problem, kind of thing.
So that's a big debacle that's going on right now. But you know what? Do you remember when you asked me, I wonder if there's any ghost hunters in New Zealand?
Oh yes, I did. I just wondered. I've just not seen them on the feed on YouTube.
No, not really. I did look them up. There were 3 that I found right away, and one was kind of a Sam and Colby type.
Okay.
Everything happens and it's so exciting and everything's haunted and all that.
Everything's haunted.
Another one was a slow moving, just
plodding along, not much going on.
Really, not even entertaining kind of thing.
Yep.
Just not my taste. I mean, I'm never gonna say don't watch them. So
yeah.
But anyway, I did happen on this group from Southeast Asia. and it's called Zarkaroo.
Oh, okay.
Zarkaroo Vlogs.
Zarkaroo.
Zarkaroo. It sounds like, I keep wanting to say Zarkaroo, but it's Zarkaroo.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure what language he's speaking, but he is bilingual, so you can understand what's going on as well as his own language. And if you know what language he's speaking, I would love to know. So please put it in the comments below. The two young men seem very genuine in their search.
Very interested in what they're doing, and right. Yes.
They were very excited to get some equipment from the United States. And guess which one? Just guess one of them.
What piece of equipment?
Yeah.
REM-pod.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, fun.
I have a couple of videos here for you to look at. The first one was when Zarkaroo and his buddies went to the most haunted hospital in Japan. And then the second one is of the Grudge House.
Where's that?
You know, the Grudge?
The film, The Grudge? Not really, no. Is that part of it? I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, it's not the real Grudge House, but there is stuff in there that pertains to the Grudge. Okay. So it's kind of cool. So I would encourage you to go over to their channel, watch, subscribe, possibly give them a thumbs up. But I would also encourage you to go around and look for international ghost hunting teams.
Yeah, certainly.
They have different, especially the Hispanic
Well,
teams.
I mean, you get people like Slap Sam and folks on your Nuke's Top 5, and they do sometimes do the international ones, especially Mexican and things. And so you do get to know a few of those groups. But I'd never heard of any from New Zealand especially. But it's good to have found the Southeast Asian ones as well that you did and enjoyed them. So another channel to watch. Yes.
I came across a video by Hospice Nurse Julie. Do you remember me mentioning her? Yeah,
to do with when your mum was passing as well. You watched a lot of her videos.
Yeah, and it really helped me learn the stages of death. And that some things that look very painful as they're going through death aren't. One thing I was surprised to learn is that when they don't want to eat, you don't feed them. It's actually worse for them.
Is it?
Yeah. It's harder for their body because the body is working on shutting down. It doesn't want to digest this food. So
you think you're doing a kindness and you're not.
Yeah. Well, one of the videos that she was talking about was about this surgeon that had a near-death experience when she was kayaking in Chile with her husband and a couple of friends. She rolled over in a very turbulent part of the river and was held under, and she couldn't get herself uprighted. And because the river was so turbulent, they couldn't get to her fast enough. They didn't have cell phone coverage, so one of them had to leave and finally go get help. And by the time they started CPR on her, it had been 35 minutes. They rushed her to a hospital in Chile to do a triage on her and resuscitate her, got her going back again. And then she was flown to Cheyenne, is it Cheyenne or, Casper, Wyoming.
Okay.
And she made a full recovery.
After 35 minutes.
She is still a surgeon.
Wow.
And can you imagine having no oxygen to your brain for 35 minutes and still be able to be a surgeon?
Yeah, really.
Well, she was told in her NDE she had to come back. And it's for a very sad reason. And I would encourage you to go to Hospice Nurse Julie's video and see Mary Neal's story and see why she had to come back. It's a very touching story. NDEs are fascinating to me, and I know it's just it's helped me so much through so many times of life.
I think we should do a turtle talk. That's where we just sit on the front deck and we just chat. do about half an hour chat of a subject.
You get to watch the turtles eat.
Yeah, that hopefully people are interested in various paranormal subjects. We've done that for quite a while, but we've never put it on video, not till we started the channel. So that's the kind of things on Turtle Talks. Yeah, NDEs. Ouija boards, that kind of thing, other subjects to do with the paranormal, just chatting outside.
Mm-hmm. And do you remember when we first met? That was right about the time I was starting to get into studying near-death experiences. And I read the book Life After Life by Raymond Moody, and he was a surgeon as well. Yeah. And I found it so fascinating, I sent it over to Mark in England. Yes,
I read that with very avid
What did you think
interest.
About it?
Very, very interesting. Certainly things that you can't explain. Like them recounting, say, a book on a shelf that's in the surgery or something, and There's no way they could have seen it because the shelf was, say, 7 foot and they're only 6 foot tall. You couldn't have seen it on there. People's lace colours and things of the surgeons' laces, all sorts of things.
Said.
Yeah, that'd
Did
be
you
weird.
know there are hospitals that are starting to do things like leave notes behind the television set
to test this
like
out?
that to see if
really?
people do. Yeah.
Yes. No, I didn't know that. No,
And
it was a test.
More often in these experiences, the patient will come back and tell the doctor exactly what he was doing, exactly what he did, and exactly what he said.
Wow.
Yeah.
Be very interested if you've got stories to do with NDEs, you know.
They do give it, and the positive thing is that there are more good experiences than bad experiences, but far outweigh the bad experiences. There are bad experiences, however, so just be a good person.
Generally.
Yeah. And don't hedge your bets.
Yeah.
Now, another channel we watch is called Caspersight. And
Mate!
It was built on a graveyard.
No, he's good fun. He's a good channel.
He's great fun, good information. He does a lot of reaction videos to Slap Ham and Nuke's Top 5. And he's just now getting into UAPs because of the UFO flak over New Jersey.
Sure.
So he got interested in that.
Sure, around Christmas time, yeah.
Yeah, and then he has recently done a documentary investigating a crop circle. That's
a really great documentary. It really is very well produced, very well shot, lots of information. Very different for him. I mean, I thought to myself, Caspersight's outside. He does go outdoors.
Yeah, you know? Because he's usually in
it's normally a little box room that he's in. So, yeah.
This crop circle is near Sutton Denny,
Wiltshire,
in Wiltshire. And on the map here, you can see in the north is Avebury, and that's where we stayed. Just south of it is Stonehenge, and then the west circle over there is where this crop circle was. Part of the thing is, if you know where Wiltshire County is, that's the one that gets the most reports of crop circles in England.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Then you know where Avebury and Stonehenge, and now you have an idea. This is more towards Bath from that area. Not only did Caspersight find a crop circle, and he's looking at the UAPs, check out our videos. We got a couple of videos that show what we see sitting on our front deck every night when it's nice and clear and warm out. And we see something every time. Yeah,
which should be satellites, but this is the kind of thing that people would say, oh yeah, but just disregard those things in the northwest or the north because that's normal satellites. You don't see people say that, and it's such a strange thing because we've been watching the skies for 15 years, and it's only this year we've seen them.
Look like.
Now there have been obviously a big increase in Starlink satellites, but I mean, when we got our system about 3 years ago, there were still a couple of thousand of them up there. There's now about 6,000 or 7,000 or something.
100 gajillion.
But does it explain everything about these? I don't know. They're just one aspect of what we see.
Well, that one that.
Yeah, that video is coming up soon. That is very, very interesting. And also something we didn't capture was also traveling across the sky near to the trees. It looked like the shape of a brain.
Oh, that was weird.
With a flashlight in where would be the throat of a person. And it was all wrapped in a kind of fog.
It was just
weird. On a cloudless night.
Mm-hmm.
But it does look something similar to the other one that I call something like the Norway Spiral or whatever, the one that poofs as it goes, especially in fast-forward motion. It's something like that and was traveling in a similar direction, but it looked like a brain. Just absolutely what?
We saw, we didn't get this on video though, but one night we were sitting out and we saw this one orb come across, split into two, a red orb and a white orb, cross, split apart, come together.
It was for all the world.
Apart. It was just the weirdest dang thing.
For all the world, like you might be watching a plane going past, but then you're drunk and you're watching it split into two planes and then back into one. Both of us
were just like, did you see that? Did that happen?
And we certainly weren't drunk. And this is the point, it split, it came back, it split, it went back, and we're going, what is going on?
And it wasn't on a regular plane flight route.
That's that's of less importance in a way.
Yeah.
But the way that thing split apart was just like double vision, and it certainly wasn't like a change of light position on an aircraft.
Well, say I put who's going to believe these Arkansas eyes on here?
Oh yeah.
And Mark AI the song for that.
Bell, yeah.
And it is just this groovy blues song, and
It's
it's got a
cool.
little rap in there. I just love it. I played the video just to listen to the song.
That was using Refusion. I think it's refusion.com or refusion.ai. I'll post a link underneath. It's a really great little AI tool that you can use to create music with.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that, you know, blues one, you'd like a blues tune.
I loved it.
Yeah, it all went together very well. It did well. That's what you can say about AI these days. I'm surprised that's not on your getting ready playlist.
Yeah, you should be on my dance tunes. Yeah. Paranormal Quest.
Paranormal Quest. Oh yeah.
Remember them? We gave up on them.
Only because the videos got longer. The content's fine. I mean,
well, we respect them because they're honest.
They're honest. They're a great team. When they were about an hour-long video, absolutely great, fitted in wonderfully. But they seem to have gone to like a 2-hour format and things like this. And Colin did a similar thing, didn't he? What was his channel called?
3 hours. He's Paranormal Files.
Yeah, Paranormal Files. Another great guy, another great channel. You know, a lot of fun, but just that bit too long. And unfortunately, when they start treating them like a film,
you lose the genuineness, I think.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to make something happen, I think.
I don't know whether you call
Not Paranormal Quest.
Yeah, no, and I don't think you call it padding and things. I think that enough things go on. It's just a little bit too much to watch. You've got to devote your whole evening to watching one show. Not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, you could go to a cinema and watch a film. You don't want to watch 4 or 5 films one after the next.
Well, you can guarantee pretty much that paranormal investigations aren't going to get evidence.
Right.
You know, what are the chances?
Right. Well, I would ask actually, what's your favourite length of paranormal video? We can certainly cater to that as well. I mean, if people think that the 2-hour or 3-hour format is the way to go, then I'm looking at it wrong.
Well, I know when we went to Gurdon, we didn't put in the whole 5 hours that we spent there because you know nothing happened.
Yeah.
We saw an armadillo walk across our path. That was, you know. There was the knock in the woods.
There's some knocks and things. That was quite a lot of fun, actually. But and then when you were throwing stones into there, and I was getting a little bit worried about that. We're out in the middle of nowhere, and you're throwing stones at something in the woods.
You don't know what's coming back.
It was a fun thing to experience. But yes, you couldn't get a 2 or 3 hour video out of it. No, certainly not.
No, and it's not. It was like we went, oh, what's that? You know, it's just it is what it is.
And that's, I think, the way that I would like to do the videos and do comment that. Keep it to the things that matter in a way. You know, if the video is only going to be 25 minutes long, it's only 25 minutes long. If there's enough there for an hour and a half, well, it's an hour and a half. You know, rather than trying to stick to a certain format that I think a few of these channels are doing.
Yes.
That's particularly the point I think I'm making. Some channels do really long format, and others only ever post 35, 40-minute videos.
We're a channel that likes to be inclusive and positive and uplift other channels. And like I said before, we would never say, oh, don't watch these guys, they stink. You know, what you do is, I suggest go to their channel, look around the videos, find one that interests you, try it, see if you like it.
Everybody's different, and evidently everyone's got more subscribers than we have. So.
Yes, so.
Hey.
Next I found about this woman named Brene Brown.
Yes, I've not heard of her.
She is an inspirational speaker from what I've seen. She's done a lot of TED Talks and things. And she's got this different skew on demons in your house.
Yeah.
Does this make sense to you? She's feeling that demons or dark energy is actually the accumulation of things you have in your home that you have loved, but they don't serve you any purpose anymore. So
they have to be got rid of. You mean
it's
cleansed in a way?
Yeah, it's good to get rid of the old energy so that new energy can move in.
Okay.
You know, that's that whole theory of, you know.
So it's like a glass, and it gets to a certain, it fills up, and you can't fit any more good or bad energy in. Something?
Well, you can, but I mean, you enjoy more good coming into your life than hanging on to this baggage.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Right. Yeah. So if you increase the negativity, you end up with what you perceive to be a negative haunting. I see. And
just clearing out your house is clearing out your space. It's letting that energy move through. And getting it
like a feng shui type of.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting that demons don't have to be evil things, they can be attachments to things that we no longer need.
Do you think sometimes things are held on to because of a negative energy? It seems it's something familiar, but you don't necessarily realize it's negative.
Oh, sure. Well, even if it is negative, it's like people go with what they're familiar with. If
Right.
you're familiar with that vibe off of that piece, it's not going to bother you if it's negative, because you're not going to register as negative.
But of course, somebody else may walk into the house and get
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
negative vibe because
That's
they're
the
not used
thing.
to it.
Yeah,
I
that's
see.
the thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Watch your video,
Yeah,
and give it a thought. See what you think about moving energy in your house and holding old energy.
it's a different perspective.
Yeah. Okay. Have you guys ever seen the Y-Files? I know Mark has,
yeah,
but
everybody.
I'm talking to you.
Sure that most people have.
The Y-Files. If you have not seen the Y-Files, WHY.
If Hecklefish means nothing to you, where have you been?
Where have you been? AJ and Hecklefish. AJ is the host, and Hecklefish is his sidekick, and he's a goldfish that sits in a bowl right next to him, and he heckles. He's a hecklefish.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I don't know if AJ does his voice as well, but the chemistry is it's funny. This week on the Y-Files was interesting because he brought up the Midnight Man game.
Right. Okay.
Do you know about that game?
No, I don't.
Well, there's several.
I'm surprised I didn't see that Y-Files, to be honest, because we normally watch all of them.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised I didn't
Well,
see
he's starting to put up
He
more, I
is.
think, and sneaking them in there.
Yeah.
I've seen a few.
it. It used to be on
Every
Wednesday night, Thursday night. Sorry,
at 8
yes.
o'clock.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then he dropped that off, and now he's posting when he wants.
Well-
With these stripped out ones.
Yeah, the stripped ones,
Yeah.
and I also think that he's dodging because he gets into some pretty controversial things, and both Mark and I were really concerned for his life after the DARPA episode.
Yes.
He really ripped into the government there, but he and his team do such deep research on these subjects that even things that Mark and I have heard about before, we're always learning something new. So anyway, like this Midnight Man, it's a game where you have to knock on the door so many times, light your candle at midnight, and you've summoned the Midnight Man, and you have to keep your candle lit until 3:30 in the morning. And if your candle goes out, light it quick before 10 seconds is up, or the Midnight Man can get you.
What happens if you fall asleep?
If you don't, or if you can't get your candle lit, hurry up quick, put a ring of salt around you, and you have to stay in there until 3:30.
Okay.
The consequence is, if the Midnight Man catches you, he will invade your dreams and he will make your life a living hell.
Why would anyone do such a thing? Why would you go in for doing this?
I don't know why anybody does any of this.
No.
The elevator game is another one that just blows my mind.
Is that the one with the different floors?
Yeah. I don't understand what the payoff is.
Is that similar to, when you get cheat codes on a controller and it's up, down, left, right, X, A, up, down, and then you get a cheat code? Is that similar to this floor number 1, number 5,
kinda.
number 4, number 3?
Oh, speaking of which, I have put the numbers, the floor order, in the video here. We'll put, and the numbers are, and it'll show the orders of the floors you go on, because that's the reason I haven't tried it, for one thing.
Oh.
Is because I keep forgetting the order of the things. And for another thing, I don't know what the payoff is, because you may end up in the 10th floor in this other world, but it never says what the other world does for you. It just says, don't lose sight of the elevator or you won't.
Has anyone ever tried it? Have you tried it yourself?
Have you tried? One that was going around when I was a kid was a Bloody Mary.
Okay, yeah.
And I didn't do it. I was too chicken. I remember it, 5th grade or so, we were 10 or 11 years old. And some of the girls in the classes, they would meet. They were in different classes, but they'd meet at the bathroom at one time. And for some reason, I was about the time, they shut off the light. The mirror is right next to the door, so I'd have to go past them while they're going, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. And they would say it 5 times. So I knew I had to get out of there by the 5th Bloody Mary. So I'm washing my hands, I'm getting out of there quick. And sure enough, you hear, ah! As I'm walking down the hall, they all freak themselves out.
Yeah, with bits of toilet roll coming out of your dress and everything as you're running around.
But I don't understand, like you say, why do people do this?
What is the great attraction of something that might, I don't know what, do things to your dreams and into haunting you, it would be, well, it's teenagers, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just a dare sort of thing.
What's really sad is about the elevator game.
Yeah.
And it just reminded me is that it didn't start until after Elisa Lam.
Was at the Cecil. Was that the Cecil one?
Cecil Hotel, and it started in South Korea.
Okay.
And there's no explanation for the numbers of the floors or why they're in that order, or really there is no explanation of what you see at the other world. I know that if you finish the game, you want to walk out of there and not talk until you get home.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Mm.
So.
Well, like you said, there's not really a great deal of sense to the the one that you mentioned, where
the Bloody Mary.
The Bloody Mary,
just to scare you.
Yeah.
She's gonna come in and boom, you know.
Who knows?
I wanted to see a scary bloody lady in the mirror.
Yeah.
That's about what it is. Say, you played the Ouija board.
Right, when I was a kid, yeah, well, teenager.
I wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't do that now, most certainly not. There's not enough known about them, really. They can be harmless. It depends on your whole mental attitude. I think it's one of those situations, too, like a lot of those games.
Yeah.
Whatever attitude you go in with will carry you through it. If you're naturally skittish and you really, I
think if you're predisposed to freaking yourself out or getting scared or whatever, it's probably not a good thing for mental health.
Certainly not. And certainly research these things beforehand instead of just going along with them, I feel like the elevator game. What happens with that elevator game if you do it by mistake? Like people come in, and you find out they want number 6, then someone else says, "Oh, I want floor number 3," and then you say, "But I want floor number 8."
At one point in there, some lady is supposed to walk on
the
elevator.
Okay.
You're not supposed to acknowledge her or anything. And she gets off the floor at 10th floor with you into the other world, and will say, "Where are you going?" And you're not supposed to acknowledge her, say anything to her or anything. But then what?
I know. Well, maybe you never heard of it again.
There's really, and the information I got for this came from the National Lift Company, so I think they know.
No way.
The elevator game.
Oh my word.
Yeah, and we'll put that up there too. So you can go to their site and see what the rules are, because they are really complicated, and you go up and down, back and forth, and it would take forever to talk about it. So go to their website if you want to see the rules. I think paranormal games are, I shouldn't say paranormal, I should say ritualistic games that invoke the paranormal. You're playing with fire.
Yeah.
I don't mean as far as invoking anything. I mean as far as messing
mentally,
your head up.
Most certainly mentally, yes. Yeah. Yes, it's not what's on the other side sometimes, it's what's on this side.
Right.
And that includes yourself.
Yeah. Oh, I want to mention something. On those Fade to Black readings of the states that are haunted?
Yeah.
Indiana.
Okay.
And I think I put a comment on your video that I smiled when I saw Diana of the Dunes.
Yes.
Because I remember that story from a long time ago in my research. And
I think people smile when they see her. That's the nude one.
Yeah, I kind of relate to her spirit. I just like her free spirit and stuff.
Yeah. Running around beaches in the nude.
Living in a shack on the beach.
Reminded me of Lady Godiva, say, on the horse, Yeah. But it was fascinating to learn about such things. And, spooks and ghosts don't need to have eyes, hanging out of the front kind of all the time.
No.
Just a very different one.
Check out his Haunted States video. Nice, beautiful voice. His gorgeous
thank you.
Cheshire voice. My Cheshire cat here.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, he's going through the states. You're up to what now? Iowa?
Iowa, I think. Yeah.
Very
Generally post 2 or 3 every couple of days, and so hopefully I'll get all 50 states done.
Mm-hmm. And you're doing 10 stories for each state.
Yep, 10 stories per state. Yep, legends, ghost stories, spooky tales. That's to do with each state.
And we're making a playlist for them.
Yeah.
So that when you have all 50, somebody can listen to this when they go to sleep.
Yeah. So,
I listen to stuff like this when I listen to the Y-Files when I go to sleep.
It's part of the reason why I did it, because I know that you enjoy such things. And, quite often people do like to, listen to things like this on road journeys too. Just have something playing, on the radio with their Android Auto or whatever it's called.
I like that you sprinkle in so many that aren't popular. aren't really well known.
Yeah, there are some expected ones, but then there's a lot that certainly aren't, and they're the ones I like to learn about too. I don't like to learn about the same thing all the time, so it's great to explore them and do the research on them.
And next week, I think we're gonna hit on Mark to come up with.
Yes, I'll be having a look myself. Yes, certainly. But thank you very much for this, lad. I've not heard of some of these, and I will be researching them. I'll be looking into them. It's not like I've seen them before, and I'm just,
Thank you for joining us on our first Caught My Eye, and we hope to see you next time. Have a good night.
Goodbye.